For 2014, the Subaru XV has been revised to offer greater refinement from its engines, more stability from its suspension, and a few tweaks to its interior. The XV remains Subaru's answer to the burgeoning crossover market, and it shares much with the Impreza, which, incidentally, is set to make its UK comeback later this year. While some crossovers add any pretense of off-road credibility almost as an afterthought, the XV starts with a well-proven four-wheel drive system and 220mm of ground clearance, and goes on to add practical details such as the body side cladding, the windscreen wiper de-icers, and a chunky set of roof rails. This chunky design theme continues inside with new controls for the ventilation system that look like they could easily be used while wearing gloves, and well-padded seats that offer plenty of adjustment. The steering wheel adjusts for both height and reach, but the position of the handbrake can make getting out a little tricky for tall drivers. The XV benefits from perhaps the most cohesive interior design of all Subaru's current models, with clear and easy to read instruments and a welcome absence of buttons. The display for the ventilation system joins that of the incredibly well-featured trip computer on top of the dashboard, where it's easy to read at a glance. In fact, it's really only the optional Pioneer navigation system that lets the side down at all. Rear seat passengers will appreciate the wide opening doors and the decent amount of space, while the seatbacks fold forward easily in a 60-40 split. Cargo space starts off with 380 litres, complemented by a handy underfloor compartment, and this increases to 1,270 litres with the seats folded. There are plenty of hooks and tie-down points dotted around the boot, with the only real oddity being the space to store the retractable load cover that leaves something of a ramp in the boot floor. Our test car is fitted with a 2-litre petrol engine, and for 2014 Subaru have made a number of modifications to its valve gear and added extra soundproofing to help increase refinement. Our car also features Subaru's Lineartronic continuously variable transmission. We're not fans of CVT autos, and although Subaru's version works well with the Outback's diesel engine, with the XV's petrol unit it still suffers from the same lethargic approach to gathering pace for an overtake. That said, it's no slouch around town, and its eager throttle response sees it positively leaping off the line. That eager response is evident in the steering too, which has also been revised for 2014, although there is still some oversensitivity either side of the straight ahead position. Still, that eagerness combines with further changes to the XV suspension to create something that feels unusually alert and responsive for a car with this much ground clearance, and the XV goes on to add both good bump absorption and well-controlled and progressive body roll. Away from the tarmac, the XV's standard all-wheel drive system distributes torque equally between front and rear axles, and although it doesn't provide a low-race transfer case as with Subarus of old, coupled with all-season tyres and more ground clearance than a Land Rover Freelander, it's unlikely to be troubled by anything this side of the Rubicon Trail. Prices for the Subaru XV start at $21,995 for the 2-litre petrol and $23,995 for the 2-litre diesel, the latter being our choice because of its better fuel economy and lower emissions. The diesel's also faster, although it's only available with a manual transmission. The Subaru XV then is a sort of anti-hero for the crossover market. It's an intriguingly quirky yet thoroughly capable option for those that need more than a mere pretense of being able to venture out into the great outdoors.